Hello, good evening, Matthew.
Good evening.
Yeah, it must be your evening, right? My time is morning here.
Yeah, it's still light outside, but it's getting on into the evening
Yeah,
in California.
yeah. So that's why I wonder that's why it's so bright at your place. So I thought it must be evening, but it looks like morning.
Yeah, our days are getting longer and longer here.
Nice to see you again after. Well, it has been a year ago, right? You were,
Yeah,
yeah,
in
you were,
Bali.
yeah, in Bali. Your class, you have a class there in Bali. So we are going to have your class again this weekend, and a lot of people so excited and interested, but they also have a question to ask. For example, like what is Touch for Health Healing Circle? Can you tell us more? What is Touch for Health Healing Circle, Matthew?
Well, the basic idea of the healing circle is that we just get together in the group with the intention of healing. And we're going to use Touch for Health or some simple aspect of Touch for Health as our method of healing. It's actually something my parents did for 25 years in their local church, and it was part of the tradition in the local church to lay the hands on people for the purpose of healing. But what my parents did was they used Touch for Health as the method of hands on healing.
How it works in that time?
Well, the way that they did it was they gathered together a small group, maybe 10, 15 people in the sanctuary of church. So they actually physically gathered in the church
Mhm.
and they shared some information in the circle. How are people doing? Are
Mhm.
there some worries or concerns? Do they have some particular goal? And then they did some touch for health balancing with either each individual in the circle or they did some kind of group balancing.
Okay, so some people might be new to Touch for Health. So can you explain a bit about what is Touch for Health?
So the idea of Touch for Health is to have some very simple hands-on tools that we can use to help people balance their muscles, to improve the function of their muscles and therefore their physical posture. But what we use to balance the muscles is sometimes looking at the emotions and clearing emotional stress, or sometimes looking at the energy pathways from Chinese medicine. Maybe we use some of the points, the acupressure point from Chinese medicine, to balance the muscles and the posture, but we see that we can also be balancing the emotions and the energy, the life energy or qi from Chinese medicine.
That sounds interesting. So when you say about the balancing the muscle and posture, so some people may ask like, what is the importance of that? Can you tell more? Why it is so important in Touch for Health?
Well, in my family, my father being a chiropractor, the spinal alignment is a very important focus in chiropractic. They say if your spine's in line, you will feel fine. So there's the belief that the body heals itself, that the body has a very powerful natural internal intelligence or innate intelligence. And if the physical posture is in good alignment, the communication throughout the body is is a good communication, then that natural intelligence functions and our natural state will be health and vitality. So the chiropractor wants to make sure the physical posture is in alignment. And what my father found from George Goodhart in his applied kinesiology is that if we can balance the muscles, that will balance the posture. And the spine will be in alignment, the neurology will be able to communicate through the whole body. So the internal physiology will function in its natural way with its natural intelligent one. So instead of working directly with the spine, we're just going to work with the muscles, and the muscles are going to help put the spine back into its alignment. So if you hear any popping sound, it's not because we put any force, it's just because as the muscles come into more alignment, you might hear the spine popping back into its place.
Hmm.
To do. But my father, once he learned muscle testing and developed Touch for Health, he really didn't feel like he needed to do much of that force realignment of the spine. Balancing the muscles was enough to bring the posture into alignment in a more gentle way. It might take a little bit longer to bring things into alignment, but it's probably going to last a lot longer because now the muscles are going to hold it in place.
That's interesting. So let's get back to the healing circle. So can you give a bigger picture or deeper understanding for people, because we are going to have this session online, right? And during this COVID pandemic, well, we still hold ourselves to have everything in person. So can you give us idea what will happen in this online class?
So yeah, it's interesting. What it would be nice to be able to physically gather together, but I have been finding during this COVID time that there's a lot of things you can do in a coaching model, talking to each other, and then coaching people to check in with their own energy, with their own bodies, and then we can do something to balance, and they can notice again the difference. So we're going to gather together, maybe not literally in a circle, maybe it's going to be more of a gallery on the Zoom, but we'll have a sense of being together in the group. And just by being together in a group with an accepting attitude where we can all share, if there's too many of us to share some opinion out loud, we can share something into the chat. And so we can feel like we're part of the group and an attitude of acceptance. And then we can do something to raise our awareness of what is it that's causing some imbalance in our life, or what are the goals that we want to work on. And then we can do something together as a group to balance our energy and notice again the change in our posture, in our emotions, in our sense of energy or vitality or enthusiasm.
Hmm. Thank you. So that's really clear, Matthew. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to add with the information?
Well, the main idea for this, because it's going to be a fairly short gathering, but it's traditional for me and my family. The healing circle doesn't need to be a long gathering. It can be 1, 2, 3 hours. This time, I think we've scheduled for 3 hours, but we're going to try to keep it quite simple. So there's a lot of different mechanical muscle testing that we do in Touch for Health, but we're going to try to be even more simple than that. We're going to focus perhaps on what we call an indicator muscle test, or even just self-noticing, just tuning into your own body and seeing physically, are there any aches and pains? Is there any tension anywhere? And that's what we'll be using as the biofeedback to get an indication where there's an imbalance and if there's been a change. And then focus for this time also is what might be the emotions related to your goal or the imbalances that you have in life, and some other what we call metaphors, some symbolic association with the muscles or the meridians, the energy pathways.
Yeah. So I also work with the family with the special need children. So there are some questions, for example, like can the parents join the class, and what will be the benefit and the expectation from this class to have?
So, well, for me, of course, everyone can join, and we can do things in a quite a simple way, just going through the physical movements, and we can have some fun with it. So the benefit for I think the same as a child or the parent to participate is that you get in tune with your own energy, and then you can see how the energy changes through different types of exercises, such as just holding certain points that we call the emotional stress release points. And then we can experience a shift in our energy in the moment, but then we also learn this tool that we can use for ourselves anytime we need it.
Okay. Thank you, Matthew, for your time. So everything seems clear to me. So I hope everyone who is looking at this recording is also clear enough. And let's have fun for weekend.
Okay, look forward to seeing everybody.
Yes. Bye. See you soon, Matthew.
Bye, see you soon.
Thank you for your time.